Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of pure driving machines, compact performance cars, or just love the sound of a turbocharged inline-six, then you're going to want to stick around for this one. Today we're talking about something that BMW enthusiasts have been begging for years. I'm talking about the 2026 BMW M2 xDrive, and yes, you heard that right, xDrive. For the first time ever, the M2 is getting all-wheel drive, and it's dropping this August. Now, before the purists in the comments section lose their minds, let me just say, I get it. The M2 has always been about that raw, rear-wheel drive experience. It's the last bastion of old-school BMW M fun, the spiritual successor to cars like the E46 M3 and the 1M. But here's the thing, BMW isn't taking away the rear-wheel drive option. They're just giving you another choice. And honestly, after looking at what this xDrive system brings to the table, I think a lot of people are going to be very, very tempted. So let's dive into what makes this 2026 M2 xDrive special, what's changed, what's stayed the same, and most importantly, whether this is the M2 you should be saving your pennies for. Alright, let's start with the heart of the beast, the engine. Under that subtly bulging hood, you still got the same glorious 3-liter inline-six twin-turbo engine that we know and love. In the standard M2 xDrive, you're looking at 473 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Now, if you're keeping track, that's the same output as the rear-wheel drive M2. So no power bump here just for adding all-wheel drive. But honestly, with numbers like that, do you really need more? This thing will still sprint from 0 to 60 in well under 4 seconds. And that inline-six soundtrack, oh man, it's one of the best things BMW has ever built. But here's where it gets interesting. BMW is also launching an M2 CS variant alongside the xDrive model, and that one cranks things up to 523 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. The CS has always been the hardcore track-focused version of the M2, and this year is no different. You get track-tuned dampers, a lower ride height, and all the go-fast goodies that make the CS the weapon of choice for people who actually use their cars on track days. And yes, the CS will also be available with xDrive, so you can have your cake and eat it too. Ultimate performance with the confidence of all-wheel drive. Now let's talk about what that xDrive system actually does. BMW's xDrive isn't just any all-wheel drive system. It's rear-biased, which means under normal driving, most of the power is still going to the rear wheels. You get that classic rear drive feel, that playful rotation when you're pushing hard through corners. But the second the system detects wheel spin or loss of traction, it can shuffle power to the front wheels almost instantaneously. This means you get better launches, more confidence in bad weather, and crucially, faster lap times on track. BMW has tested this thing extensively, and the xDrive M2 is legitimately quicker around the circuit than the rear drive model in most conditions. That's not a compromise, that's an upgrade. And for those of you worried about losing that tail-happy drift mode fun, don't worry. BMW has confirmed that the xDrive M2 still has all the fun modes you'd expect. You can dial back the stability control, lock it into rear drive only mode, and go full hoon if that's your thing. So really, you're getting the best of both worlds here. Let's move on to the exterior design. Because while the M2 hasn't undergone a major facelift for 2026, there are a few subtle updates that make the xDrive model stand out. First off, you still got that aggressive wide-body stance that makes the M2 look like it's ready to pounce. The fenders are flared, the track is wide, and those massive wheel arches are filled with serious rubber. BMW offers the M2 xDrive with 19-inch wheels as standard, but I'd bet most buyers are going to tick the option for the available forged wheels, which not only look incredible but also save weight. Up front, the kidney grills are blacked out and aggressive, flanked by those sharp LED headlights that give the M2 a mean, focused expression. You've got functional air intakes feeding the intercoolers and brakes, and there's a subtle carbon fiber splitter down low that hints at the car's performance intentions. The whole front end just screams purpose. Down the sides, you'll notice the signature M2 carriageway lines, those muscular haunches, and the xDrive badge on the fenders if you go for that option. Personally, I love the understated elegance of the M2's design. It doesn't need giant wings or crazy body kits to look fast. It just has this inherent menace to it, like a lightweight boxer who doesn't need to flex to prove he can knock you out. Around back, You've got that iconic quad exhaust setup. 4 big, circular tailpipes that let everyone behind you know exactly what kind of car they're dealing with. The rear diffuser is aggressive. The taillights are sleek and modern. And there's a subtle ducktail spoiler on the trunk lid that provides just enough downforce without looking over the top. If you go for the M2 CS, you'll get some additional carbon fiber touches, including a more aggressive rear wing and a lighter rear diffuser. But even the standard xDrive model looks absolutely killer. Color options for 2026 include some stunning new shades. You've got classics like Alpine White and Black Sapphire Metallic. But BMW is also offering some bolder choices, like Toronto Red Metallic, Zandvoort Blue, and my personal favorite, Isle of Man Green, which just looks unbelievable in the sunlight. BMW has always nailed their paint finishes, and the M2 is no exception. Now let's step inside, because this is where BMW has really refined the M2 experience over the past few years. The interior of the 2026 M2 xDrive is driver-focused in all the right ways. You sit low, the dashboard wraps around you, and everything is angled toward the driver. It's a proper sports car cockpit. You got BMW's latest curved display setup, which combines a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and a 14.9-inch touchscreen infotainment system into one seamless unit. The graphics are crisp, the menus are intuitive, and you can customize everything to your liking. Whether you want a full-screen navigation map, performance data like boost pressure and oil temps, or just a clean, minimalist speedo and touch, it's all there. And BMW's iDrive system has come a long way. It's fast, responsive, and way easier to use than the older rotary controller setups. The steering wheel is a thing of beauty, thick, perfectly sized, wrapped in leather with red contrast stitching. You got your M1 and M2 buttons right on the wheel, so you can switch between your custom drive modes with just a thumb press. No diving into menus while you're carving up a canyon road. Just press a button and boom, you're in full attack mode. Speaking of buttons, BMW has thankfully kept physical controls for the climate system and other essential functions. There are still some touch-sensitive panels, but it's not a total touchscreen nightmare like some modern cars. You can adjust the temperature or fan speed without taking your eyes off the road, which is exactly how it should be in a driver's car. The seats, oh man, the seats. Standard M Sport seats are already excellent, with great bolstering and support, but if you go for the optional carbon bucket seats available in the track package, you're in for a treat. These things hug you like a race seat. They're lighter, and they just look phenomenal with their carbon fiber backing. If you're planning on doing any track days, the carbon buckets are absolutely worth the extra cash. Materials throughout the cabin are top-notch. You've got merino leather, Alcantara on the steering wheel, and shift knob, carbon fiber trim inserts, and that signature M stitching everywhere. It feels special, bespoke, and way more premium than you'd expect from a car at this price point. And yes, there's still a manual transmission option. Hallelujah! The 6-speed manual in the M2 is one of the last great gated shifters left in the automotive world, and BMW deserves massive credit for keeping it alive. Shifts are precise, the clutch is progressive, and the throws are short and mechanical. It's an absolute joy to use. Of course, if you want the xDrive system, you'll need to pair it with the 8-speed automatic, which is no slouch either. It shifts fast, it's smooth in traffic, and it lets you focus on steering and throttle inputs when you're really pushing hard. Both transmissions are great. It just depends on your priorities, storage and practicality. Well, it's an M2, so don't expect miracles. The trunk is decent for a sports car. You can fit a couple of suitcases or a set of track wheels and tires back there. The rear seats are technically there, but let's be honest, they're really just extra storage space unless you're giving a ride to small children or very patient friends. This is a 2-seater in spirit, even if the paperwork says otherwise. Now, let's talk money, because I know that's what a lot of you are wondering. The 2026 BMW M2 xDrive is expected to carry about a $2,000 premium over the standard rear-wheel drive M2. That puts the starting price somewhere in the neighborhood of $65,000 to $66,000. Is that cheap? No, but when you consider what you're getting, a hand-built inline-six, a sophisticated all-wheel drive system, a world-class chassis, and that BMW M pedigree, it's actually pretty competitive with rivals like the Mercedes-AMG C63. the Audi RS5, and even the Porsche Cayman GTS. If you step up to the M2 CS with xDrive, you're looking at a significantly higher price tag, likely pushing into the mid to high 70s depending on options. But again, that's the hardcore, track-ready version with over 500 horsepower, carbon fiber everything, and chassis tweaks that make it a legitimate track weapon. For the right buyer, that's money well spent. Options will obviously add up quickly. The carbon bucket seats, the forged wheels, the premium sound system, the track package with its adaptive suspension and increased top speed, all of that costs extra. But that's the BMW way. You start with a great car, and you build it exactly how you want it. So, should you buy the 2026 M2 xDrive? Well, if you've been waiting for an M2 that you can drive year-round without worrying about snow or rain, or if you want the absolute fastest lap times possible, then yes, the xDrive is a no-brainer. You still get all the drama, all the emotion, and all the engagement of the rear-drive car, but with an added layer of capability and confidence that makes it usable in more situations. If you're a purist who only cares about that tail-out rear-drive experience, then stick with the standard M2. BMW is still offering it, and it's just as good as ever. But I have a feeling that once people actually drive the xDrive version, a lot of minds are going to change. This isn't a compromise, it's an evolution. The 2026 M2 xDrive hits production in August, so we should start seeing them at dealerships shortly after. If you're serious about getting one, now's the time to talk to your dealer and get your order in, because these things tend to sell fast. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. What do you think about the M2 getting all-wheel drive? Are you Team xDrive or Team rear-wheel drive only? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.